What up, fight fans? This is Square Circle Productions, and I'm going in with a new rant. This one is called The Curious Case of Gennady Golovkin, aka the Golovkin Conundrum. Okay, is he overrated, underrated, the real thing, the flavor of the month? Depends on who you ask. Gennady Golovkin is many things to many people. But one thing is for sure, he ain't going nowhere, so get to know him. To his many detractors, I've heard the arguments before, and I'm not impressed. His resume is weak. So are the rest of the majority of the champions in our sport. So, you know. And so, you know, the ones who seemingly do have strong resumes, to the casual fans, they're nobodies. You know, I mean, if your name's, you know, not Floyd Mayweather Jr. or Manny Pacquiao, then you're not a household name. You know what I'm saying? No matter how great a performance you put on, nobody's going to be standing at the water cooler talking about your fight Monday morning. You know what I'm saying? So to the general public, you're unknown. And isn't that the goal of most fighters? They want to be known and loved and adored by all fans, you know. Not just hardcore boxing fans, but the general public as well. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, basically all of y'all in the same boat, all these champions. You know what I'm saying? The only way you gonna grab the attention of the general public is to go out here and fight each other. You know, and for whatever reasons, people make excuses not to fight other fighters. You know, some of it legit, some of it BS. You know what I'm saying? And so, to sit here and call one man out on it, when you could say the same thing about your favorite fighter, you know what I'm saying? It's absurd, man. Give a man a break. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, he's knocking people out. You know what I'm saying? And regardless of whether or not you like him, you know, and as much as I hate to admit it, you know, you know what I'm saying? As much as I hate to admit it, you know what I'm saying? This dude's career is eerily similar to Marvin Hagler's. I mean, you look at it, he's been a pro for 10 years, and he haven't really had any significant victories against anybody of any real relevance. And for real, you could make the same argument for Marvin Hagler. Yeah, he fought the Sugar Ray Seals and stuff like that, but what did Sugar Ray Seals really go on to accomplish? You know, as an amateur career, he was a great fighter, you know, standout fighter. But, you know, his career was kind of cut short because of his vision problems. You understand what I'm trying to say? But still, he couldn't get past Hagler. And rightfully so, because, you know, he was still an amateur fighter coming into the pro ranks, and basically Marvin Hagler was one of those stubborn, welcome to the pros type guys that just said, nah, you know what I'm saying, and pretty much handled him in the three fights they had. They may have actually had 4, but I believe it was 3. You know what I'm saying? And each one was worse, more of a devastating loss than the previous one. Okay, Vito Antuofermo, I mean, he was the champion, but, you know, at the same time, GGG won a championship too. You see what I'm saying? But he ain't really fought nobody. You understand what I'm trying to say? And in this era, when you got 5 major championships, 4 if you just exclude the IBO, 3 if you exclude the WBO, you know, it's a lot easier to become a world champion than it was, you know, 30, 40, 50 years ago, when it was less organizations around. And then when you go back to when it was only one organization around, you know what I'm saying, that was even more tough. You understand what I'm trying to say? So at the end of the day, let's get over it, man. Canelo Alvarez ain't gonna fight dude no time soon. He ain't gonna fight him for at least 2 years. You can kiss 2016 goodbye, and you can kiss 2017 goodbye. Dude ain't trying to fight. He ain't trying to fight Triple G. You know what I'm saying? He gonna find every little dirty trick and excuse in the book to not fight the guy. You know, including that 155 catchweight bullshit. So, you know what I'm saying, man? That's how I feel about that. But, you know, what did Killer Tay say on his song? He say, marvelous like Marvin Hagler knocking these no-names out. Well, that's what Triple G is doing right now, knocking out a bunch of no-names. And, you know, I can understand people saying, well, he ain't really fought nobody, but a lot of people ain't really trying to fight him. You know what I'm saying? And everybody says, well, he should step up and fight Andre Ward. Why that dude got to step up and fight anybody? Why can't he stay where he at, you know, and become Oz? He trying to break the records, you know, at middleweight division. I ain't got no problem with him doing that. I ain't got no problem with him trying to take and exceed what Marvin Hagler did. I ain't got no problem with him trying to exceed what Bernard Hopkins did. You see what I'm saying? No problem with him staying in middleweight. And that's another thing, too. You know, when you jump all over the place, some people argue about that. When you stay put, then people argue about that, you know, because I'm hearing the same thing about, you know, Bernard Hopkins. He could have stepped up to super middleweight, and he could have stepped up to light heavyweight, but he was scared of fights. Man, I don't play that scared crap, man. Sometimes you know your role, you know your lane. And ain't nothing wrong with saying, you know what, I'm comfortable at 160. I'm going to continue to dominate here and break the record books, exhaust all the competition. Then maybe after I've done that, after I've built myself up into a household name, you know what I'm saying, and there's another fighter there that always want to fight me and is still there, maybe we can catch a fade, you know what I'm saying, or shoot the fade and whatever the next level is. You understand what I'm trying to say? So, you know, they want him to fight Andre Ward. Yeah, I think Andre Ward probably would serve him. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, the general public don't know who Andre Ward is either. You got to be like, the guy that was in, the light-skinned guy that was in Creed. Oh, him. See what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, the general public don't know who none of y'all are. So it only pleases the hardcore fans. You know, we get to see certain styles. You know, with certain fighters fight, and that's cool. But I'd rather see it under circumstances where it's a super fight and everybody wants to see it. People is talking about it at work. You know, you go into the barbershop, you know, just besides the barbershop, but when you go to work or you go other places. See how it is now, it's maybe one or two guys at work that's real boxing fans that you can even have these kind of conversations with. That's why you got to come onto the YouTube boxing community and listen to what people like me and other people got to say about what's going on, because you really can't have them kind of conversations in general public with general people like you can football, baseball, basketball. You understand what I'm trying to say? So, while y'all sitting here hating on the man, talking about he's a pretender and this and that, the dude, you know what I'm saying, got an opportunity to win over the general public. You know what I'm saying? Because you know they love to push them undefeated fighters, and especially if you want a knockout streak, oh yeah, they love to push that. So at the end of the day, man, you know, give it some time. I believe Triple G will fight whoever they put before him. But, man, at the end of the day, let the man stay at middleweight and try to unify all the titles. He got a very good shot at unifying all the titles. And the type of guy he is, he's good for boxing because he's a European fighter. You understand what I'm trying to say? And, you know, at a middleweight division, you know, that's dominant. You see what I'm saying? So if he can unify all the titles, I think none of the organizations will really have a problem with him. You know what I'm saying? Because he ain't got no problem fighting mandatories and stuff like that, because y'all complaining about him not fighting nobody anyway. So once he can knock off a champ here and grab that belt, and knock off a champ here and grab that belt, he ain't got no problem with doing what the organizations say. And all of them will kind of win. But for the most part, man, I wouldn't hold my breath, because a lot of these organizations don't want to play ball with the other ones. They want to outshine the others. So I said that in other rants, so I'm not going to dwell on that too much. But that being said, people that I would like to see him fight, in the near future would be Miguel Cotto, Danny Jacobs. I know they had talks before, and it was a money issue. But like I said, man, y'all need to rethink that. You know what I'm saying? Because neither one of y'all is a household name. Although Triple G is a lot closer to getting there than a lot of people think. Because the one thing that he has in his favor is the fact that he just signed a deal with Jordan brand. So he going to be wearing Jordan trunks, Jordan shoes. You'll possibly even see the Jordan logo in the ring next time he fights. Or pretty soon here. So, if he can continue to step up his competition and the knockouts still keep coming, or at least victories, you know what I'm saying, a lot of hype will be built up on the guy. And then even some of his staunchest critics got to step off of that, oh, he's a fraud and this and that type of stuff, and just get a man his props. And let's see him ride it out. You know what I'm saying? But if he can continue to step up his competition with the notoriety, I think he'll have a little more notoriety with the general public than Canelo Alvarez. Although Canelo Alvarez probably got the Hispanic community on lock. And that's a lot of boxing fans, because most Hispanic people, they love soccer and boxing. You know what I'm saying? And that's just pretty much how it is. You know what I'm saying? So there's millions and millions of legions of fans that are staunch Canelo Alvarez supporters that ain't going nowhere. But to the general public, Triple G got a prime opportunity, with this Jordan deal to really put himself out there on a different level. So, and if he can, then he can put a little more pressure on Alvarez to fight him sometime before 2018. You know what I'm saying? He may even have a little more leverage in negotiating the fight as to some of the stipulations of the fight. That maybe they'll both come in as A-side fighters and not him being the B-side fighter, because he actually had maybe one or two more belts than what dude got, and the fact that, he's a little more recognizable in the general public. But, again, only time will tell. So, like I said, man, comment, rate, subscribe. Peace out. One love.